Hey guys, welcome to another video lesson. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about a thing called the major scale, which you may have heard of. This may be new to you. Hopefully whatever ability level you're at, there is something you can walk away from this, something that you can pick up and find useful and take on board. So what I'm going to talk about is this pattern of tones and semitones, and this little pattern of tones and semitones makes up what we call the major scale. So if you can follow this tab here, I'm going to play you what's called the C major scale, which is the white notes on the piano. If this is all really foreign to you, check out the lesson that's pinned to the top of my page, which goes through the C major scale in a bit more detail. But if you're sort of a little bit familiar, then hopefully this will be fine for you. So we're going to start on the first fret of the B string. And that first fret of the B string note is a C. And we're going to play through the C major scale. And what we're looking out for is that whenever we hit a E or whenever we hit a B, we'll move a semitone. And that's going to give us this sequence or this pattern that we want. And the sequence has a sound, and that sound is the major scale. So we go. Now I'll go through that again, saying the notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now I'll go through that again, saying the sequence, the pattern of tones and semitones. So tone, tone. Semitone between E and F, tone, 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 semitone between B and C. Alright, so on the B string, starting at the first fret, that's our C major scale. And that sound, that combination of tones and semitones, no matter where you start it from, on the neck, you can start that sequence anywhere. It's going to sound like the major scale, all right? And that's really what I want to delve into today, is the reason that we have sharps and flats and the reason that we have 12 different keys. Why do we need these sharps and flats? Why can't we just have white keys? All right, so if you take that exact same sequence, let's play it on the E string this time. So without even thinking about what we're playing, it still sounds like a major scale, right? But we started on a completely new note. We started on a different string. So what's happening there is the sharps and the flats are used to be able to start on different places within the guitar or within whatever instrument you're playing, but retain the same quality of sound, retain the tone-semitone pattern. So in this case, which I've tabbed out here, we're starting on F instead of C. And we're getting F, G, A, but there we're getting a B flat. The reason for the B flat is because we need to retain that tone-tone-semitone formula. If I do them both at the same time, you'll see what I mean. So previously I went to E and F at that point on the B string. Now I've got to go to A and B flat. So A, B flat, C, D, E and F is up here now. Alright, now so the reason for doing that, this is what would happen if I didn't employ any sharps and flats and I just played C major scale starting from F. It doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound like a major scale. So we need to flatten that B in order to retain that tone, tone, semitone formula. And so that idea is really the fundamental basis of sharps and flats, and the reason that we need to employ them, and the reason that we use them to be able to change keys, transpose things. You might be singing a song in C and it might be too low for you, so you need to transpose it up to F. You're going to need to add that B flat to the key to give it the same sound quality and give it the same intervals that you had in C major. Alright, so that's part one of this exploration. And what I want you to do now is to try that on the rest of your strings. So we've covered the B string, we've covered the E string. With the E string, we've got the advantage of having two E strings. So what I just showed you on F, that applies to your low E string as well. So there's just three other strings that we didn't look at. So try starting on the A string, and you'll get B flat major, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. Starting on the G string, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. Alright, so there's 5 different major scales for you to work from just by using that first fret method and following the formula. What if we do them all at the same time? It sounds like something, right? I don't know what, but it gives you the idea of that, transferring that formula around. That's really what our major scales are all about. Alright, so part 2, it's just taking that same idea, and instead of starting on the first fret, we're just going to start on the open string, which just gives us a few more starting points to look at with the guitar. So I've tabbed out G major, which is starting on your open G string. Then we're going to go up 2 frets to the 2nd fret, G, A, B. Now your semitone will be here on the between 4 and 5. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So in the case of G major, we needed to sharpen the F to create that tone semitone formula. If we didn't, and we just played white keys, we'd end up with this. It doesn't sound major, does it? It's got that flattened 7th. It sounds Mixolydian. Okay, this is what we want. So for it to sound like a major scale, we always need a semitone between the 7th and 8th note for that resolution. And we need a semitone between the 3rd and 4th note. Alright, so that's the open string major scale tabbed out here. Alright, and so just by using those 2 methods, well, in the first method we ended up with 5 different keys. If we do the same thing with our opens, we're going to end up with 5 different keys as well, because we've got 5 different string names. Don't forget we've got 2 E's, so they count as 1 really. Alright, so we can apply that same open string formula to E major. It's playing both at the same time there. We can apply it to A major, open A. Apply it to D major. G we already covered, we can apply it to B major. Alright, so from starting on the first fret, we've got 5 keys. Starting on the open strings, we've got 5 keys. That's 10. There's only 12 different keys, right? So the 2 that are left out are D flat and G flat. And we can explore them just simply by, instead of using our first fret, let's try starting from our 2nd fret. So if we start from the 2nd fret of the B string, we're on D flat. Now let's use our formula. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. Alright, and the same goes for G flat, just starting from there. Okay, so that gets us through all 12 major keys just by using our formula of tones and semitones and going straight up and down the neck. So what you can do is start trying to memorize some of these. Start with the ones with less sharps and flats and build your way up to the ones with more. And then also look for different starting points in the neck. It doesn't always have to be your first or your second fret. You can start these from anywhere, but you start stringing this information together and it does help you with your playing, you know, finding chords, finding scales, finding modes, improvising, songwriting. It is very useful stuff, and hopefully you can find something in there that helps you. Alright, good luck and we'll see you later.